So thank you everyone so much for joining us tonight. Gouda, what else we got? All right, I'm reading off cheeses now. Savory goat cheese. Oh, I love goat cheese with eggs. That's amazing. Camembert brie and Gouda. Yes, Gouda. So we have, tonight we actually included queso fresco. Yes, on my breakfast tacos. I love that. Rush Creek Reserve. Beautiful. I'm not in any way a cheese connoisseur yet. So I'm working my way from, the most mild, to getting very adventurous. So that's kind of where I'm at. I usually put more mild cheeses on my boards, but, everybody's different. So thank you all so much for being here and for being patient as we try to get everybody on. My name is Megan Diaz-Rinks. I am, by day, I guess I'm a nonprofit executive. I work for a nonprofit housing development organization called Commonwealth Development. And I just kind of found my passion making charcuterie / cheeseboards. And I just recently started my own small business called Alma Board and Box. And that was kind of born out of really wanting to find an outlet for grief, along with all this energy that we have during quarantine. Didn't really know where to put it. So one day I was like, us millennials, we love Lunchables, and now all of us are starting to make cheese boards. So why don't I start trying to make cheese boards? And that was kind of how it started. And I haven't been doing this the longest, but I really think that for me, every board that I make, there's always a story to it. I put things on a board with how I'm feeling at the time. I don't follow a template. I don't plan much, but I love doing this, and I'm so happy that you all decided to join me tonight for this class. Thank you so much. I want to give a huge shout out first to Bri Creation Station. I know that I didn't say I was going to call you out, but if you could just say hi for us and maybe talk a little bit about what it is and where it was born out of, because I really want to hear you talk about it, because we would not be here without you. So if you're there, I'm going to make you talk a little bit right now. Only if you're there, though.
Yeah, that's yes. My mom.
That's my mom.
You guys are silly. Hi, yes. My name is Britney. I am the creator of Crafternoons. It was pretty much born out of quarantine, but kind of the I want to say desperation of having friendships. But I was really just interested in doing a lot of crafts. And of course, I had warm, loving friends around me, and that also enjoyed doing the same thing. And we kind of went from there. And I started doing more events from there. And that kind of went into the partnership with Madison Public Library and so forth. Our first type of craft we did was like a coffee rack. So you can tell like there's different styles of or different skills that we have always put our hands on when it came to craft. But other than that, yeah, it's something I enjoy doing, and I'm happy that I'm able to spread that and share that with you guys.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so we can get started. I'm going to zoom over to my actual board so we can kind of start talking about all the elements and components and get going. So there we go. I'm going over here. Actually, I'm going to turn off my video here. A blank slate here, right? I chose to use this board tonight because it belonged to my mother, and she loved to make things like this. She passed away in August of 2019. So this board tonight will be kind of energy made from my new business and thinking of her. So here it is. You got your blank slate. So what you want to do, obviously you want to make a cheese board. So you have to pick out all of your cheeses and all of the other elements that you want to put on it. So what I usually do is I think about who I'm entertaining, what their likes are. You know, if it's just for me, then I get what I want, but I kind of like to get a good variety. So I'm going to kind of be catered to the kits that we made for our amazing women who received a kit today to kind of put together this board. Some of y'all are watching, so shout out to anyone that's here. Hey, it's so good to be here with you. So box, I will shimmy on over here. So we had one of these blocks, which is the Bellavitino cheese. It is from Wisconsin. I absolutely love this cheese crunch and crystals. Yes, and shout out to Willy Street Co-op who generously donated all of the food that we are using tonight. You all are awesome, so thank you. But yeah, so this is a raspberry ale soaked Bellavitino. So this is kind of like I'd say like a Parmesan. And this one is really beautiful. So this one is actually only $3.99 at the grocery store. So we always want to talk about, you know, price points as well. If you're trying to entertain or trying to make things on a budget, you know, you can always find some really gorgeous cheeses that are just really, really good. This one has a beautiful kind of aftertaste on your palate. You can really taste the raspberry ale. So I love, this is my favorite cheese right now. So I put this on almost all of my boards and in the boxes that I make. So moving on, we have this Gouda. Everybody knows Gouda, I would say. So it's a very mild, made with yellow cow's milk. It's, you know, it's a softer cheese. And it comes usually, I took the rind off, but it has a red rind usually or other rind. So this one I wanted to include because it's pretty mild. And then obviously I had to include, so some of y'all will have a different type of cheese in this. We had a blue cheese, we had, we had all types of cheeses that were donated by the co-op, but the one I chose to put on here is a mild, just a cheddar. So this is a 3-year cheddar, aged 3 years. This is from Wisconsin. And I really just love putting cheddar on because who doesn't, you know? So these are the 3 that I will be using tonight, but everybody picked out their own who got their kit. But that's kind of where we want to start. So then obviously you have, if you put meat on your board, then you're going to want to get some of the actual charcuterie. So charcuterie is kind of the aged meats that you'll have, cured meats. So meaning they've been really put in these, have the beautiful salt and nitrates to kind of cure them and preserve them. So I have donated from the co-op, we have this peppered salami here. And I'm actually going to teach y'all how to make salami roses. So that's something I like to do. So we have this beautiful peppered salami. And then I have this sopressata right here. This one is spicy. So I love spicy stuff on my board. A lot of the honey, preserves, everything I will use will have chilies or some sort of spice. You know, but however you like it, that's it's kind of everyone's preference, right? So I have my meats and my cheese, and that's how I like to start. So I'm going to go back really, really quickly to the board. Here we are on the board. Sorry, this whole camera thing is so weird to me. But, so when you have the board, the first thing that I like to do to plan it out a little bit is I want to put where are my condiment bowls, where is my honey jar gonna go, anything that would be, you know,
like a preserve, or even little peppercorns or whatever that you would want kind of in a container. So we had these little bowls that were included in our kits tonight. So I wanted to use that one so people can get an idea. But if you're following along, you had a kit, you got like a beautiful kind of like a platter, and that's made out of palm leaf. So I really like to use, if you're not looking to buy wooden boards because they get expensive all the time, palm leaf is actually a really good, make your own platters if you want to take it somewhere and you don't want to worry about the board, or if you want to do it as a business. Palm leaf looks like wood, and it's eco-friendly, so that's kind of what I use. So, and that's what you all got in your kit. So you have your round palm leaf platter. So you want to pick where you want to put all of your different condiments. So what we're going to put today is orange marmalade. It is local. I'm going to hopefully be able to show you this. Yeah. Eek, eek, eek. Y'all could tell I couldn't be like a beauty blogger or anything. You know how they like put it up? They're like, and this is my foundation. So this is like the foundation for our cheese, right? So we're gonna slather it on our cheese, or our crostinis or crackers or whatever. So this is the orange marmalade. As you can see, it is local, beautiful, Slacks brand. So that's what we're going to use today. I don't put that on until last, but I always put the bowl down. So you kind of just pick where you want it to go. I never put mine right in the middle. But I like to put mine off center, and I usually will have more than one. But I really want to cater to the folks who got a kit because we only have this one bowl. So I probably will put mine a little off center right here, right? And what I like to do is kind of build out from there, right? So build out from each, little platter, little container that I'm going to have on my board. So right here, I'm going to put that, and I'm going to start building my cheese around it. And then I know that things are going to go kind of, there's going to be each section that we're building off of, right? So right here, you can kind of see my board center is like about right here. So I'm putting it just a little bit off center, kind of on the right side. So I'm going to plan out kind of in my head, where do I want to set things? And it doesn't always have to be planned out, you can kind of go as you're cutting your cheese, you can go as you want and put it like, oh, this might look really nice here because of the way I cut it. And I do not do clean cuts. I call my cuts rustic cuts because, we can change our language to get away with things. So my cuts aren't always perfect. But I like the way that it ends up looking, right? So here we'll have the bowl, okay? So I'm going to build out in 3 sections, here, and then here, and then here. So we're going to go on over, if you all are following along, to cut up our cheeses. So each cheese kind of has its own way that you can choose to cut it, right? So you don't have to do exactly what I do, but I will kind of show you, how I like to, cut mine. So for this one right here, you kind of want to, let me move these. Okay, so I have this. I have my Belvitano cheese right here. And then I have my cheese knife. This is my cheese knife. See, it has a nice holes that kind of aerate, make the cheese not break apart, be easier to cut. So what I do is I cut it in half right here, right? So you're going to cut this in half. You're going to have 2 nice, beautiful sides, right? So then all you have to do is kind of cut it in even slices each way that you have it, right? So they don't have to be perfect. Don't feel like they have to look a certain way, but that's kind of, how you would cut this one. Should you feel that you want kind of these like this straight cut this way, which I have done. But this is kind of, they start ending up looking different ways. So typically you would cut it like this all the way if you'd like. So that's kind of, oh, I got low battery. Uh-oh, didn't think about that.
It's okay. I need to catch up anyways.
Okay. Let me grab. Oh, I can't see. Oh, there we go. Not on my phone. Okay. Ha 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 ha. That wasn't on my phone. Okay. So see, we kind of cut it like this. So you started off with the black, and I can actually, you know, try and get it back to where it was a little bit. But, you know, so you can either cut it in half, and then you cut these small slices here, and then I cut it that way to make the longer slices, right? So, and then what I do is I always put my cheese down that I cut. So this one, usually if they look like this, they're kind of like the odd little rectangles. I will grab them. I'm gonna move it over here to my board, and then I will set them kind of where I want them to go. So something like this, like a nice, cute little pile, it looks so nice when you just kind of lay it like that, right? So people kind of see just this nice, it doesn't look perfect. It's not like perfectly, you know, like this. I don't know, like, you know, like that. So you kind of want to like, so I put these four just a little bit spaced out here, these little guys. And then I put one across like that. And then I put one on top to kind of look like a nice, cute little pile here, right? So that's something you can do. With these, what I like, so I'll leave that like that. I don't know if I can get a better angle on that, but that's kind of how I like to leave those. So moving back this way quickly, I have this cheese kind of in a beautiful fan now, right? So that's all I like to do when cheese looks like this, when it's kind of cut in this size and this shape. You can just fan it out. So you put them together, fan them out until they're to your liking. Like that or so. And then I'll move it back over here. And then you kind of pick where you want to go. So what I like to do is take it. So what you could even do, right, is you decided to put that there, put the container for your, or the bowl for your marmalade right there. So I take these and I kind of fan them so that they're framing the bowl, right? So you're gonna have your little guys over here. Yes, and someone said the Sartori raspberry ale soaked Velvetano cheese. Yes, that is the one I am using. I find mine at Pick and Save for $3.99, so it's not bad. Some cheeses are like $20, and you're like, no, I'm good. So yeah, see how it kind of, now you have this beautiful fan framing your bowl that you wanted to keep there, and then you have this little stack here. So you're good to go. So we move our little guy over here. And now I'm going to make this cheese go away. Now we can move on. I will move on to the cheddar. So the cheddar, there's so many ways you can cut it. I always do mine in cubes. I think they're nice little snack size. So some folks, you know, you're going to cut like that. And some folks, so you cut off your piece like that, and then you can just do cubes, right? So you have a cube, if you cut there, you're gonna get like a little cube like that, like that. Sometimes you can cut diagonal like that, and then you will get something like this, right? So then some folks like that. So they're facing opposites, and they make a nice little pattern. You know, it's just a cute little thing. So I will do mine like that. But you're welcome to cut it however you want if you have a block. So you're just gonna move. If it's like kind of in this just block like that, then feel free to, you know, cut it in cubes or cut it how I did. So how I just did it was I cut and then take it diagonal, cut it like that. It's gonna make cute little guys like that, right? Then you're gonna do them up. I don't know if you, yep, you can see. You're gonna kind of opposite them, opposite sides. Then you're gonna do another one. It's laying flat like that. Cut it. Boop. I hope everyone likes my sound effects. Okay, and then I'll just do it this one halfway. You're gonna get kind of a big chunk of cheese, honestly, for this one, but that's okay. So you can kind of do it, you know, like that, or you could do it however you want to lay these. And they're really nice. They're really cute. So that's kind of how I have it, right? Laying opposite of each other. So I wouldn't put all of this together on the board. I would then take it in two different sections, more opposite of each other. So I'm going to take like 10-ish. Yeah, 10. So maybe 5 and 5. It doesn't have to be 5 and 5, but so you can take them and place them however you want. I just did it like this, you know, just because. So you can bring it over to your board and kind of decide, well, where would it fit in here on my board? So I kind of like it right here, you know, and it's like, well, how do you decide that? I don't know. The ancestors just come to me and say right there, you know, so I really don't have a rhyme or reason. It's just the aesthetic, right? What is pleasing to your eye? So choose how you know, what makes most sense to you. And for me, I wouldn't want to put it like right here or right here. I would kind of want to fill in my space, right? So another thing you want to do is you always want to fill up your space. So, you know, something like that, right? Because we know we're going to fill it in with a bunch of beautiful, we have our section here, here, and then kind of here. So section here, these, and then this. So we're going to fill it up with all kinds of other goodies, right, at some point, but we want to get the cheese down on the board first. So that's kind of how I do it, but that's kind of what mine looks like so far. You know, nothing, well, I shouldn't say nothing much going on. I mean, it's cheese. There's always something going on with cheese. So let's move over. So if everyone can see, it's kind of a little, hold on. Trying to get everyone a good view here. But, you know, so it's kind of, that's where I'm laying things right now. So let's move on.
Hey, Megan, this is Jamie from the library, and we have a really good question in the chat about what if someone has blue cheese and how would you include that?
Yes. Okay. So the blue, okay, so it depends. If you have crumbly blue cheese, I didn't introduce this tool yet because I didn't have anything that crumbled, but this is kind of a tool that has a flat head. And what you do is you take your cheese kind of laying on its side, and all you do is you take it like that. So you could even take it with, if you have a knife kind of like this, you just take it and you kind of let it crumble up, and then you're going to place it on your board wherever you like, right? But this is a really nice tool for that. You know, if you're working with crumbly, if it's just a soft one, you're going to want to cut it. So it probably looks kind of like a little bit like this, maybe, you know, you got like a square block. So you can choose to kind of cut it, you know, any way that makes it look, you know, nice. But for me, I kind of take my, so if it kind of looks like this, you can either cut it half two, and then you're going to kind of get some of these nice little triangles from it. So you can kind of cut it you know, you had it like that, cut it in half, and then you can lay it and cut nice little triangle, you know, into triangles like that, right? So that's for anyone that has Gouda. But the blue cheese, it just depends on kind of what it's like. And if it's harder and it's just going to crumble, you definitely want to take like a flat tool like this, or maybe like your knife, sorry, I don't know how, like this, and just start crushing it into chunks, and then you can put it kind of wherever, you know, wherever looks nice on the board. So here I had Gouda, and, you know, cut away however, you know, these are like pretty big pieces that I have here. There's also circular Gouda, and what I love to do with that is, you know, you'll have your circle, and I like to cut it just in pieces, kind of like a cake, and leave the rind on. The rind is a really beautiful red color, and obviously folks should take it off. But that's just something that I like to do with mine, but you can also take the rind off and then cut it up like a cake. I think Gouda, like the circular wheel of Gouda, is really, really, really nice. So for me, okay, so I cut up my Gouda. I got it here. So now this is going to go on my board. So I have these nice little pieces here, and they'll probably go something like this. So I have 4 in my hand here. They look like little triangles. And then I got ones that look like this. So probably set them on top of each other, kind of like that. So I will bring her on over here. And then pick wherever you want it to go. So this one can kind of go, I'm seeing some free space over here, right? And voila. I don't know if you can really see that too well, but it's just kind of, you know, staying on the board, or it's they're kind of leaning on each other like that. And then I have these other pieces that I will bring over. You already saw them. So I have ones that kind of can stack up like that, and I can put them over here. I can put them over here. You know, so where does it make sense? If you had like a crumbly cheese, I would probably put it somewhere more central. If you know, you want people to be able to grab it. And if it's, you know, crumbled, I would probably put it maybe over here or somewhere kind of in between here. But this is kind of the Gouda I had. So, you know, I don't want to overwhelm the board with cheese, but that's kind of what we got going on for Gouda, right? So all of our cheese is laid out now, right? Does anybody have questions or comments so far? Can we see the vision? Can we see the vision working here? Possibly.
It's in progress.
Yes, it's in progress. So, yes. So here, okay, so let's take her on over here. All right, I'm gonna move this. Perfect. So now we have our meat. So not everyone will have all of these meats. You know, I have a pretty big board, so yours might be looking, you know, full already, crowded, whatever. But just for technique, right? I just want to show you all how I would do this. So for something thin, this beautiful, it's like, you know, thin. Wow, that wasn't even in the camera. I'm sorry, obviously. So you have this beautiful sopressata. So to make these cute little, what you call a ribbon. So you just kind of accordion it to your liking, right? So it kind of looks like a ribbon. So you would just go in, out, and fold, right? So it can kind of look like that. And then all you do is you put it on your board. So you kind of want to make like a path, right? How I like to think of it. So you're kind of like making a path somewhere from here. So right, I would probably sit this right here. So now that you saw how I did it, I'm just gonna kind of, so I just like to squish them up. They look really cute. Put it here, you know, and they're gonna start looking like something, right? So just make our little ribbons and put them here. Make our little ribbon and put it here. Make a little ribbon, put it there, right? And that kind of gives you, you know, you can kind of see that it's moving, right? So I can even continue on. So that one looked awful. Like that. See, and they're kind of making like this really cool little ribbon. And so I'm going to have this going over here, and I could stop there, or I could keep going. I could put it, you know, in between like that, right? And now you have this beautiful kind of movement here, right? So that's kind of what it looks like there. I have more, right? So I could put some, you know, over here just to kind of fill up some more space and give, you know, depending on how many people you're feeding, right? So you have to think about how many people would this feed. This board actually is fairly large. And if it's for the purpose of snacking, this would definitely comfortably, I mean, depending if you really like cheese, I don't know, you know, could probably comfortably feed 5 to 6. But there was a lot of cheese, right? We already put a lot of cheese down. So I would say this could comfortably feed 5 to 6 folks. But other folks might have, you know, smaller boards, and, you know, those could feed 1 to 2, 2 to 3. So you just want to think about, you know, your portions and how much you think folks would be snacking. So I have some over here, I have some over here, right? So now I'm going to take us back over. I always do my cheese and then my meat here. So folks got their, I'm gonna move in a bit more. I'm definitely losing my light now that there's no light outside, so I apologize. But we have our salami here. So this is perfect for the salami rows. You have this cute little circle. These are the ones that I usually use. A little bit lighter, not as thick. You could also probably use what you wanted to kind of be circular like this. I always use 5 pieces if it looks just like this. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I stack them up. And then I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to cut it, slice it right in half. So you want to slice them in half. And then you're going to have halves like this. Nice. So you want to take one and you're going to start from the end and just roll it. So roll it towards you. Keep on rolling. Make sure this one's tight. And then you're going to kind of already see got your little beginning of a rose here. So then you take the next one, and I like to put it where maybe a quarter to a third of this is over the lip or and make sure it's just slightly higher. So I'm moving it like this, right? So then you're going to have a little bit higher, just a little bit higher than where that one is. And then roll it into there. So it's going to kind of look like that. And then make sure you're doing the same thing, kind of bringing it maybe a third of the way, quarter of the way in. So see, I have it like, oh my gosh, like this. And then just roll it again onto there. Make sure you're holding it nice and tight. And we're looking like something. And then keep doing the same thing. And then you roll it in there. And then sorry, let me tip it up. We're starting to get a picture of what it is, right? Then do the same thing. Roll her on up. So I'm going to keep going. And then see, these are kind of starting to reach around like this. Here's one end, here's the other. So then you want to take the next one and put it over those, right? So then you're kind of getting, oops, yeah, put it over that. So then you're going to bring it just around to the other ends, just like that. And do the same. So it's starting to look like something, right? And then the last piece I have is right here. And that's kind of my little rose. Beautiful, right? So what I have to do, and I'm sorry some of y'all don't have this, I feel so bad because we didn't have the jute rope, but I have a little, you can take, you know, any type of string that is food safe. If you're, you know, obviously you want to have food safe, but I just tie it around nice and tight. And then go like that. So if some of y'all don't want to take apart your rose, you know, you made it or it looks a mess, it's okay. It took me forever to learn how to do this. I still don't really know how I make it look like that every time, but you know, then you have this nice, cute little guy here. So then we're gonna tuck the rope in, and then I will bring it over to my board and kind of put it where I feel like it fits. So I really against the condiment bowl. That's usually what I do. Or if I have a brie cheese, it's always sitting up against it, kind of like a floral accent on, you know, like if I have a round wheel of cheese, I always usually like to do that. So I'm just gonna quickly get my rose tied really quickly, and I'll put the camera back on it. Okay. Beautiful. So there we are. We got it. And you can kind of like expand, you know, make sure it looks nice and rose-like. But there it is. So it's gonna, our little guy's gonna sit right there. So then I have, you know, some leftover stuff, and I got some hungry people, right? So I'm just gonna take my salami I have left over and kind of put it. You can do it like this. If I had a toothpick, which I should have, a beautiful thing you can do is just take these, fold them in half like this. They're going to fan out like that. And you're just going to put a toothpick through this, and you're going to put it on your board wherever. So I'm just going to kind of put it where I think is good. And I will put the camera over there in just 1 minute. Okay. So we have, like, it's gonna hug a few things, you know, but you can kind of put it wherever. Whoa, swinging around. Let's see how we're kind of getting somewhere now. And this I actually don't, and you can decide if you don't like something, you don't have to keep it there. You can move things around. That's the beauty of this. So sometimes, you know, if I'm like, oh, it looks better over there, right? And that's already completely different than right here. So that's kind of, we have a meat and cheese board. So now we need to add some more to it. So some folks I know have a cute mini cucumber. So I'm going to, hold on, let me grab my other board. All right. So we have our cutting board. So now I have this gorgeous little cucumber that just fell on the floor. So now we don't have a cucumber anymore. But y'all, I would have used the cucumber had it not fallen on the floor. But that's okay. I don't think I have another one either. Whatever. So let's talk about our apple. There's also an apple in your kit. So take your apple. Some folks, it doesn't matter. You can cut it however you want. So I'm going to cut it right in half. These will yellow. So if you're doing this for a party, I know a lot of you already know, you can do lemon juice. It will kind of take on that flavor a little bit. Some people I actually saw suggested that you soak it or you just dip it in Sprite. I don't know if that's something you would want to try or experiment with, but you know, something with acidity, so that even apple cider vinegar, something so that it's not going to yellow your apples. So you want to do that because you want them to have their nice, beautiful color while they're on your board. So I just kind of cut mine at an angle. You know, I don't have really a rhyme or a reason for how I do mine, to be honest, but you can kind of cut it, you know, and then you want to kind of get your core out, you know. This is actually a very tiny apple, so I usually don't use these little guys, but you know, then you want to kind of take whatever off. You know, I don't cut the greatest. I'm not Chef Gordon Ramsay. You know, he would probably be making fun of me right now, to be honest. So, you know, you got all these little apple slices and you can put them however you want. I always like to make sure that they look nice and lined up like that, kind of fanned out. You can do it like that, right? So then it's just gonna go anywhere on my board. I usually put the apples on the outside of my board. So I'm gonna bring it over to my board. Give me 1 second.
You said we can put what on the apples to stop it from browning?
So there's a few things. The suggestions I've seen, well, a lot of folks will use lemon juice, but sometimes they might take on the flavor a little bit. Some folks have suggested that you dip the pieces in Sprite, and some folks have said apple cider vinegar. So there's a few things that you can use. Also, they do make like powder that you can buy, and you put it in water, and then you just kind of soak the pieces in water so they don't brown at the store. So there's a lot. I think it's like no brown. I don't know. It's probably just called no brown. I don't know. Abby's my Googler, so I don't know what the brand is, but it's, you know, you can find it in the baking aisle. Very, you know, most of the time you can find it there. But there's a lot of different things that you can try. Just something with some acidity,
Okay.
so that it doesn't start to brown if you're going to have this out or if you're going to be entertaining. If you're going to be eating it right away, you don't necessarily have to do that. Obviously, I didn't do it. So I ended up putting my apples right here. And sometimes they will fall apart, but you can kind of see them. That's where I decided to stick them. And I do have a whole other half of the apple. So I'll get that cut up. So I'll let you all see kind of where I'm at right now while I get my other piece of the apple on here. But apples are always amazing on a cheese board. I love the crispiness, the crunchiness. Sometimes they're really juicy. So, and they don't have to be perfect. So I have some apples here again. And your apples, your stuff is gonna touch, like it's gonna touch each other. You know, my bad. So put it to where, you know, put it anywhere to your heart's content, right? Nature seal, yes. There we go. So see, I have apples here, I have apples here. And you can really just go ham with the apples. So yeah, that's that. Let me grab my grapes. So now, I mean, you could have, there are so many different kinds of fruit. Oh my goodness, right? You could put so many things on here. And I did include, for anyone watching at home or for anyone that got a kit today, I did include a kiwi, and we're going to try the kiwi challenge to try and make those beautiful kiwis that they put on charcuterie boards. I have never attempted this before, so I'm just going to try and cut it up.
Megan, we
Yes.
can't see you.
Oh, I'm
Show
sorry.
us your kiwi.
Here's my kiwi. But I have no idea how to do. I literally watched a YouTube video this morning and said, okay, we'll do a kiwi challenge to see if anyone can do it. I don't know how to cut these. So you essentially cut it one way all the way around evenly. And then you're going to come back around and cut the other way. And it's going to make a brightness. I'm sure folks have seen it. And it's this beautiful kiwi. So I do not know if that's actually going to work, but we'll see. So I have my grapes. I have this beautiful, just, it already kind of came like that. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to cut it up. I usually have two types of grapes. I do not today, but normally I would put green and some of these beautiful ones here. Or what do they call? Moon grapes. Those are really cool. And my iPad died, so I cannot see what you all see, but we were working with technical difficulties through all of this. So I'm just gonna hope that I can get it charged really quickly. But here's my grapes. So I have a perfect place, I think, for them right now. So I'm gonna put it over to my board. Can you all see my board? Well, sorry, Abby, you're gonna have to guide me through this real quick.
You look great.
Okay, so I want to put them right here. I think it looks like they're gonna hug everything nicely and just kind of chill right there. What do we think? A yes, a thumbs up, yes. I think this is good. So we have our beautiful grapes right there. So that's where our board is at right now. So we are missing something, because I'm sure people are thinking, we need crackers. So now I can kind of just focus on the board anyway. So I have some of my favorite things. These little, I don't even know what the thing is, but it's like a little mini toast here. So I like to use these. Probably will put them probably over here, kind of in this cute little stack. So you want to start putting your crackers wherever you, y'all, oh my God, my husband came in here with a extension cord and a charger for my iPad. He's a plug. So here we have the little, can you guys, well, yes, you can see those. So look at those beautiful little mini toasts. And you want to start kind of filling in space, right? So we could put other crackers right here. But I will just kind of keep filling it in with my mini toast. So I have all these right here. So see how they kind of fit right there. It's beautiful. So then I also have, everybody knows and loves these. I like to use these frequently too. I have some of the club crackers. So they look kind of like, the perfect spot for them would probably be right about here. So I just kind of like to lay them up against the cheese and then kind of put them down like that, right? So you're really just trying to kind of fill in your space now. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to make sure you're kind of filling in, I hate to call it dead space, but you know, make sure that it's filled in nicely like that. So you have a space right here, have a space right here, have a space on the outside here. So for me, I would probably, I think I actually, let me, I have a few. I always like to put something sweet and savory or sweet on my board. This is just sweet. And these are amazing. I believe you can get these at Aldi, and you can get them at Aldi, and you can get them at Trader Joe's. So they are, if anyone has had these beautiful maple leaf cookies, I love them so much. And I always like to give people a sweet treat on the board. So this can kind of serve, you know, these can kind of serve as filling in our space over here, right? And look how beautiful they look on there. So then what we have is, this space is kind of fine here. I probably, let's see. I have a little bit of this left, you know, not touching that though, because I don't want my meat touching my, that's the only thing I don't like touching, but fill it in there. And then we have our nuts. So I know that that's the last, I haven't really talked about those. I have these dry roasted almonds here. So I love almonds on my board, and I always get spiced almonds from Quinton Apple Treat. You can find those in several different places. At the Willy Street Co-op, I get mine from Pick and Save. These are just Trader Joe's ones, but I just want to plug a local small business that makes some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. So I have some space here, and then I have some space here, right? So I will just put them right there. So see, it's all starting to kind of come together. And wait, I got one left. Oh, 3 left. Might as well just put them in here. So can everyone? All right, can you see that? And then, so the challenge I will challenge everyone to is the Kiwi challenge next. But the last thing I will do is I will take this beautiful, beautiful orange marmalade and I will put it into my container. So you're gonna like to make sure that the bowls that I have in here have some beautiful color to them. You know, this board actually turned out to be pretty muted, but what I like to do, real flowers, and put them onto the board on top of everything. It's totally fine to put on top of the food. People like to see things in threes, which is something I learned from another charcuterie. Well, they're an expert. I'm not. I'm trying to be. But she said that people like to see things in three. That's kind of how our brains work. So she puts beautiful floral arrangements, kind of three on her different boards. So that's something that you can do to kind of, make a nice, beautiful accent on your board. And then I'll just keep this. Look at that. It's gorgeous. And my iPad is on now. Hold on. I'm going to try and join you again very quickly so I can see myself once again. Abby, if you can bear with me. All right, I'm here. All righty, there we go. Okay, so now I can kind of see what's going on there. I'm going to turn off this video though because I don't like this angle. All right, so look at this board. This is kind of what we have. So does anybody have questions? I mean, do we see the progress? Do we see how it came together? Does anyone have questions, comments, anything before we do the Kiwi challenge? I don't know if I can see the chat. All right.
We can all just show what we have so far.
Yeah, I would love to see that. For anyone following along, can we kind of take me off now, Abby, from being on the main stage and see if we can, if anybody wants to show kind of what their progress is or what it's looking like.
Hey, Megan, this is Jamie. Abby's on top of it, so we're going to switch things out. Just give it a couple minutes here.
All right, no problem. Okay, so I'm going to hold on, I'm going to grab my paring knife. So for anyone that has a kiwi, let's try and do this. I have no idea if this is going to work. Apparently, so you're supposed to take your kiwi. And you're just going to rub. So you see this fuzz? You're going to want to rub up the fuzz with a paper towel. And I'm not going to do that over my board because it'll get kiwi fuzz on my board. Maybe I'll just switch on over to the other board quickly. Move my orange marmalade. All right. So, okay. So you're supposed to, I really honestly don't know if I'm doing this right. So rub off the fuzz as best as you can. Rub, 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 rub. I really honestly do not think this is going to turn out at all how I think it is. So this is really just for comedic effect, I guess. But make sure you're rubbing the fuzz off. All right. So let's see here. Okay. So apparently you go in the middle. There. I'm going to try and get a better angle. And you just cut at an angle, kind of like, let me see, at an angle like that. At an angle like that. Y'all have probably seen this done. I don't really know what I'm doing, to be honest. I really don't think this is going to work. I probably should have tried it before I did it, but I really wanted just to be funny. Okay, so then you have all your little cuts that were at the same angle this way. So now you want to join them. Oops. Where? So it's kind of going to look like a zigzag. And then you go the other way to join that. Join it. Join it. I'm trying to find my cuts. Then I think. Okay. So then apparently it's just supposed to come apart like that. That wasn't bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought, but that's kind of what it looks like. So now that we have this gorgeous green kiwi to kind of put, you know, on here, fits right in there. Oh, you can't really see it though. Let me get my camera at a better angle. See, it's gonna kind of go in this space right here. And then I could probably set it right there. Let me get that. Something like this, right? And yeah, there we go. Oops. So make room for the kiwi, because I'm the kiwi queen. All right. All right. There is my board. That's it.
We're ready to share. Please note that we are recording. So if you want to turn on your mic, we'll automatically focus on you and your board. Just know that that will get recorded and go right ahead.
Okay, so I can go first. This is mine. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good angle.
Beautiful.
And I did my kiwi and I didn't fail horribly. So yay, there's my kiwi. Shout out to the kiwi.
Yes. Yes, you are the kiwi queen.
But that's it.
I love it. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Did anyone else want to share?
I can share. Angelica's next.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Yes.
You like it, Megan?
I love it. What is that? Is that cheese? What's the one right nearest to Marta on the right? Or is that meat?
I don't know. Which one? This way?
No, other way. Opposite way.
Oh,
Yep.
This is
Nope.
cheese. This?
Nope, in front of it. It can't. Yep, that.
Oh, they're crackers.
Rye
Oh,
cracker.
crackers. Okay, I can't. My iPad has really grainy.
Yeah, they're rye crackers.
Oh, nice. Oh, and you had the maple leaf cookies there.
It's yeah. I got one from Trader Joe's.
I
Thank
love
you.
it.
We're gonna enjoy it now.
Yes, eat up. Anybody else want to share?
I can share mine. This is Brandis. Hi, everyone.
Hey,
Hi,
Brandis.
Willy. Hi. So this is my little board.
Yes.
I only got one meat, so I didn't have extra meat. So I used ham.
Yes.
For matter of my
I love ham. That's perfect. Ham is always
my
good.
My 2-year-old kind of got a hold of the kiwi. So I just sliced it as best as I could, and I didn't have extra crackers and cookies, but this is my first board, so thank you. This is the best I can do.
No, that's beautiful. I love the it's going in like a pattern around. So that's what I love. Yeah, it's very.
I know when I be going places, it's I like to see it where it's if two of us walking up on the board, walking up together, I could get some, they could get some. It's kind of like the same thing, and you gotta be ready.
Exactly. Thank you, Brandis. There we go. And the kiwi. You got the kiwi. You're a kiwi queen.
Yes, I did.
Yes, and I love the that you put. That's a really good idea. So that's something I didn't do. Is to put the nuts in a. It looks like that's like a cupcake. Yep. So it's really nice to be able to separate things out sometimes. And so I always love to put nuts in different small bowls too, or even something with a higher water content, like a cucumber too as well. So I love that. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, thank you.
Hello. I love it.
Yes, okay, so I have 4 different types of cheese. I kind of went crazy with the cheese. So cheddar, and then camembert and Parmesan. I don't know why it's showing up as my dad's name. Kind of weird, but whatever.
What's your name?
My name's Liv.
Hey, Liv.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Of course.
I love it. And you got some blueberries.
Yes, I have blueberries, and then homemade fig jam.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I love fig. I like chili fig is my favorite because when you get the spicy figs, it's just like chef's kiss.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. And blueberries, one thing I'll say, I love blueberries for accents on like summer boards, but when you have darker fruit like blackberries and blueberries, you have the dark fig, or you even, it looks like, is that chorizo or is that?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, it is.
So if you have chorizo, like the dark, that's how I like to also make my boards around a theme. And so it's, you know, fall themed. You kind of want to use darker fruits, seasonal fruits, you know, a darker meat that always looks really, really nice on a fall or a winter board. So just something for folks if you're thinking about doing theme stuff, Halloween, you know, I made a Halloween board with some blackberries and those weird looking moon. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. Do we have anyone else that wants to share?
I'll share mine.
All right. There we go. I can see it now. Beautiful. Oh, where is that?
Yeah,
apple
yeah.
In the middle? Oh, I love it. You had some beautiful colors. See, I love when we get a lot of color on the board. That's my favorite.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Yes. So I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. And I think Abby had a few slides for us just so we can let you know what's going on. We have a couple more events already coming up, I believe January and February. Thank you all again so much. This was a lot of fun. When I think about what my boards are going to look like, I have no idea what the end is going to be. I have to be honest. I don't plan them. So, you know, it's kind of, you know, it's how you feel. Remember that you're going to put your energy into this and people are going to enjoy it. Just like when you're cooking or when you're doing anything you're passionate about and other people are going to enjoy it. You know, so it doesn't have to be planned out, you know, do it however it makes you feel good. So, okay, so we actually made this really, really cool list of books, cookbooks that are all by women of color. So we have that list. We'll get that sent out to you. It will also be on the library website. And then we have these amazing events coming up. Araceli from Wisconsin O'Hare is going to be doing our journaling for the New Year class, which will be just kind of in this virtual platform, just like this. And then we have Maya Pearson, who makes these gorgeous handmade cards. And she will be teaching a class about making handmade Valentines just in time for Valentine's Day. So we will have kits available again for both of these events. Please, if you know anyone that might want to enjoy this and will be needing some supplies, just connect back with us. But yeah, so that's all I have. It was a pleasure to share space with you. Thank you so much for being on a Zoom, you know, event. I know that we're zoomed out at some points, but I'm glad that we could do something that can hopefully give us a refresher and, you know, help us to put some energy, you know, good energy into the universe and into food. So thank you all so much for joining me. And that's all I have. So
thank you, Megan, and thank you, Abby, and Jamie, and everyone else. Thank you, guys.
Shout out to Willy Street Co-op for the donation. Yeah. Shout out to the library for your amazing partnership. Shout out to Bri Creation Station for this beautiful space for women of color and to come together and enjoy.
And the Crafternoon team.
And Crafternoon team.
Yeah. I can't do this without you guys.
Thank you all so much.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you.